Last night's comment section, Franny says, "I'll drink to that." I guess you were talking about what the tweet, supposed tweet by Trump about prohibition. I don't know what you meant. I'll drink to that, or was it the Kissinger thing? I don't know, but it was good to see you in the comment section. It's been a long day. I'm very tired. I had every intention of doing a long video like I usually do, or used to do, I should say, Franny. I'm just totally drained. Going shopping, going to church and going shopping, store hopping, seems to wear me out. I don't know if they're using some kind of frequencies at Trader Joe's or Sprouts and Aldi, but it just literally it wipes me out. I can't do it. I can't do it. Very drained, but it's been a week. I guess we're in a new world order. Greenland annexing Canada, that was on the table. Yeah. If votes counted, so don't get triggered, Big Shoot. If votes counted, which they seem to be acting like votes count, but if they don't, they don't. But if they do, this is weird. The Manchurian generation. Take a look at this, real quick.
We all saw Biden's border madness. But what if the next invasion is invisible? Through birth tourism, over 1 million Chinese nationals born on U.S. soil could soon be voting in American elections from inside China. Meet the Manchurian generation, U.S. citizens on paper who've never lived in America. Educated in CCP-controlled schools, indoctrinated against us, yet eligible to vote in our elections. #1 New York Times best-selling author Peter Schweizer exposes the next threat we face. This isn't immigration. This is a political weapon. Read the book that reveals The Invisible Coup, available everywhere fine books are sold. Get it now, before the Manchurian generation swings an election.
Crazy times we're living in. Crazy. What else do I have for you? It's Saturday. We're just hanging out, looking at different videos. Franny, it's always good to see you in the comment section. It really is. I had to put on this light jacket, light coat. Getting chills. I don't know. Just lately, I've been feeling kind of crappy, drained. Been killing the gym. I don't know if my central nervous system isn't recuperated enough. I need more rest. Could be it. I don't know. Could be a lot of things. But listen. Do you really feel like we're the land of the free and home of the brave? Think about that. Land of the free, home of the brave. You could go get in your car and then a few moments later get pulled over by a road pirate. That's what Brian of Here's the Deal calls them, and I agree. A road pirate, okay, you call them police. A New World Order cop, because that's what they are. Most of them, just about all of them. I don't know how many good cops we have anymore. Any good apples. They seem like all New World Order followers, getting ready to give us the beatdown. Well, you get pulled over by one of them, and you have to show them your papers, right? They want to see your license, your registration, this, that, and the other. And then from there, that point on, if you even hint at challenging them, questioning them, why'd you pull me over? They see that. I've seen the videos. If you think I'm lying, go check them out. Go look at Lackluster. That's a channel that exposes them. Go look at Here's the Deal. There's a ton of channels out there that are showing actual footage from their body cams that are showing how these NWO cops are conducting themselves, and they're tyrannical. They're extremely tyrannical. So there's a lot of things going on in this country that points to the fact that we're not really land of the free and definitely not home of the brave. Because if this country was collectively brave, we wouldn't be in the shape that we're in at all. These demons, these evil POSs would not be allowed to run amok and do what they're doing. Still paying your taxes? Listen to this. A 67-year-old is going to spend 4 years in prison after defending himself from a career criminal in New York City. Now, this is not just New York City. Excuse me there. Slip. My apologies. It's not New York, just New York City where stuff like this happens. Okay? There's a lot of states that you might think are on the up and up, you might think are red, that, well, if you're in certain areas of it, you defend yourself from a home invasion, you're the bad guy. I don't care where you are in the United States. I don't give a damn. The fact that if someone is breaking into your home, is trying to cause you harm, you have a right to fucking defend yourself. I don't give a damn where you're at. Right? You're a human being. No one made them rule over you. Why do these people think that they're over you? They can make these bullshit laws or so bullshit words on paper called laws that say, well, if you defend yourself, you blah 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 blah, you go to jail. Huh? You're a human being. You have a right to defend yourself. That's the way I see it. And I bet you God sees it that way. You got to be a special kind of stupid not to see it that way. And the fact that you're going to jail because you defended yourself, are you free? Huh? Are you free? This is ridiculous. How many stories have we heard of people, their lives, their families' lives, getting threatened? Their home, your home is your castle, right? Stand your ground. And they defend themselves from these home invaders, and they're the ones that are in a hot seat. They're the ones that are getting prosecuted. They're the ones that are getting sent to jail. That's not a free land, folks. We're not in a free land at all. At all. We have an illusion. We have remnants of an illusion. And the more you turn a blind eye to it, the worse it's going to get. The worse it's going to get. Our world has been hijacked. Hijacked by demons. You got to be a special kind of stupid to want to have open borders, these libtards, and then defend the actual invaders. Defend the invaders who invaded your land. I don't want to go any further because it's late. Let me just look at this, all right? It's not land of the free and home of the brave. It's land of the as in retard, and home of the slave. You still working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours? Do you know how many videos I see of people losing their minds because they're working 2-3 jobs and they can't make ends meet? They went to college. They owe a lot of money on their fucking college loan, their student loan, which is another scam. And then they can't even make ends meet because prices are so jacked up. And they're going, why is it? Why is this? Why are prices so jacked up? Well, you'll own nothing by 2030 and you'll be happy. Oh, okay, I'll say it like Klaus Schwab does. Clown Slob. You'll own nothing. You'll be angry. You'll be happy. Which is a clown slob. They're pricing us out of existence. I've said this a million times over. And then you get so many stories of people just trying to be left the fact alone. They're trying to defend their castle, their home, or themselves, or their loved ones. And then they're the ones that are prosecuted. They're the ones that are thrown in jail while the criminal runs free. Everything is inverted. Everything is upside down. And because humanity has not collectively got on the same page, because they constantly dividing us, divide and conquer, we have not collectively got on the same page to take our world back. Take our countries back from these New World Order POS demons who want to see the world population reduced to 500 million or less, as they claim, in order to keep perpetual balance with nature. Fact that noise. We're here to procreate. God says be fruitful and multiply. However, the sheeple out there have been so indoctrinated, they become fruity, and because they're fruity, they're not multiplying. That's not how it works. But that's, the devil is the air prince, the prince of the air, and he's been working overtime on trying to hijack as many minds and hearts of humans as possible, and he's doing a damn good job for the time being anyway. It's not be fruity and not multiply, it's be fruitful and multiply. God wants us to multiply, but these demons want the population down to 500 million, Georgia Guidestones style, or less, right? So our world's been hijacked in so many ways. So many ways. You look up, you see lines in the sky, spraying us like bugs. They're controlling the weather. It's raining in high mountains. It's going to snow in Florida. The food, you can't even. Every time I turn around, there's spices have cadmium in them. Spices have lead in them. Spices that you eat. Everything is so wildly out of control and insane. You got these commies up there, these libtards, these fake news watchers, who happen to be women, I think, more often than not, up there in Minnesota, trying to run down ICE. Yet, if you and I actually tried to even do 1/10 of what they're doing, you know what would happen. So it's just, let me read this, okay? 67-year-old Charles, put on my reading glasses. Charles Foner was officially, or has officially been taken into custody in New York City to start his 4-year prison sentence after defending himself from a repeat offender with 15 prior arrests and a history of mental illness. Does this, I have a question, does this prison sentence, does this repeat offender with 15 prior arrests and a history of mental illness, is this person an American citizen? Or, about to take a look. But the more I see of this country and this world of hell going, we're not free. We're not. Just because you can go out of your home and, maybe you're going to the grocery store or you're going to work for now and coming home, just because you've been able to do a lot of things that you've been doing doesn't mean that the noose isn't tightening around our collective necks. Because it is. Big time. Big time. So let's take a look. And it's only a matter of time, hopefully not, but God forbid, that, something like this happened to you, where someone breaks into your home and you defend yourself and then you go to prison. Does that sound like freedom to you? That's not freedom. That's tyranny. Just because you're able to go outside, breathe the fresh chemtrailed air, spice your food with spices filled with heavy metals, because that's word out in the street. Eat your GMOs, or you could buy organic. Maybe it's not organic. And think that everything is hunky dory because you made it through your day. It doesn't mean everything's okay. All right, it doesn't. Look at Massachusetts wants to limit how many miles you drive, little by little, just like the Muslims, little by little, hopping from city to city, taking it over, and then pretty soon they're going to come to your home and say you cannot be a Christian anymore. You got to be a Muslim. It's a slow frog boil that is increasing. Okay. Look at this. Charles, this 67-year-old guy, is a retiree with no prior criminal record. Does that sound like freedom to you? Had to sell the home he and his wife owned to pay for legal fees. This country, we are not free. We're hijacked. We're hijacked. Just because this has not happened to any one of us out there in the viewing audience or whatever, doesn't mean our country and our world has not been hijacked. It has been. It's been hijacked severely. Because this could happen to anybody else. You're in your own home. You're on a fixed income. You're retired. And some bastard, probably a fucking damn invader or a 13%er, who knows, maybe Lou Ferrigno's, breaks into your home or tries to. You defend your space, yourself, your wife, and you go to prison for that? That noise. We got to stop being distracted. We got to realize that we're in peril. Our country, our world, the way it's going, hell in a handbasket. We're not free. We're not free at all. At all. At any moment, a shoe could drop in your neck of the woods, in your life. Some shit like this could happen. You could be getting out of your car to go to the grocery store to pay the jacked up prices, right? Get ripped off for just buying groceries, and then someone could accost you, try to jump you, in the parking lot, you defend yourself, and you're the one that's in trouble. Is that freedom? That's not freedom whatsoever at all. We're not free. You get in your car, you went 5 miles over the speed limit, you get pulled over, and I smell. Is that weed I smell? Is that weed? Well, I think I need to search your vehicle. Does that sound like freedom to you? Not at all. Not at all. You're paying taxes. Are you being represented? Does that sound like freedom to you? I don't think so. I don't think so. And by 2030, you own nothing, be happy. Does that sound like freedom to you? Huh? Oh, we'll have our July 4th. You know, shoot off the firecrackers and bottle rockets and the big boy fireworks. Right? That's what they'll do. Phew, boom, 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 boom. Hey, 250th anniversary. Seriously? Seriously? My father's rolling over in his grave. All these veterans that fought or thought they were fighting for our freedom. We're not free, folks. When you cannot even defend your home without going to prison, defend your life and defend your wife without going to prison against a criminal, against anyone that's trying to do you harm, you're not free. It's time to wake up. Here it is. Charles, who's a retiree with no prior criminal record, imagine that, had to sell his home. 67. Oh, big win for the B system. He has no home now. Hopefully he'll be happy by 2030. But he might not be. He might be angry. We'll see. Stay tuned. Except for we won't be able to stay tuned because there's many stories like this and so many shiny objects and so many distractions. Between now and then, it'll just be unbelievable, including a fake alien invasion. But I digress. Now listen to this. He lost his home because of legal fees. Purposely priced out of his home. That's done on purpose. That's not an accident. He defended himself. It's rigged. It's against you. The system is against you. Increasingly against. Now you could have your. I have reading glasses on from $1.25 Plus Tree, but you could have your rose-colored glasses on and go, "No, it's not. Everything's wonderful where I'm at." Really? Tell that to him. Tell that to his wife. Tell that to so many people who defended themselves or tried to defend themselves, and they were held accountable. They were thrown into the clink, the hoosgow, jail, prison, however you want to phrase it, tomato, tomato. They were sent up the river without a paddle as a criminal was let loose. Look at this. Look at this. I'm going to show you the video too. Despite Americans across the nation reaching out to the district attorney and the judge in his case, Charles was sentenced to 4 years in state prison for criminal possession of a weapon. Criminal possession of a weapon. This is what you get. This is what you get. Calm down, BitChute. I gotta say this to the masses. I gotta say this is what you get when you vote for libtards. When you are a demon, when you vote for demon craps, when you vote for rhinos, I gotta say this, BitChute. When you push for anti-gun laws, this is what you get. A gun-free zone is not a gun-free zone to criminals. Criminals are criminals because they don't give a fuck about laws. Okay? That's why they're called criminals. They don't give a shit about laws. You got a gun-free zone in New York City? Criminals don't give a shit. They got the Second Amendment and they'll use it on you if they want to. While you're disarmed. Go look at Europe. Go look at all these other countries. Even Australia, I think. Which is a continent, not a country. Go look at the places that have been disarmed. Oh, this is a gun-free zone. Okay, well, do the invaders care if it's a gun-free zone? I don't think so. Idiots. There's a reason why they do all these false flags in America, the most heavily armed country in the world. There's a reason why they do all these false flags and this mass murder crap, and they blame it on guns, and the retards out there, mostly libtards and fake news watchers, believe that guns kill. Guns don't kill. No more than this spring kills, this broken spring. You see this? This is a spring. You don't hear about mass murders or anybody getting killed with a spring to the jugular, do you? But this is a broken spring. See the problem? You do that with a knife or anything like that. You don't hear, this didn't kill. But people kill, okay? You can have this that could kill someone. You can have a pencil. You can have a gun. You can have a car. Cars don't kill. Inanimate objects don't kill. Springs don't kill. None of that does. It's people. But the libtards will believe that guns kill. Oh my God, we gotta take away the guns. Gotta take away the guns because guns kill. No, idiots. It's the assholes behind the trigger, morons. By the way, what do they call morons? Are they moron the stupid side that they're not? I don't know. But here we are. We're not free, folks. You might still argue that we are. We're not. We might have some remnants of freedom, but it's encroaching. Everything's encroaching upon total, taking away all our freedoms and installing total tyranny, which is a new world order, which is where we're at anyway, beginning stages. And it's only going to get worse because, well, people are not collectively waking up. This is the cutie, Savannah Hernandez. Here she be, going to tell you what's going down. New York City. Hey, New York. It's not going to get any better. All right? You keep doing the same things, expecting different results, or maybe you like the results you're getting. You're a special kind of stupid then.
Hernandez outside of the Queens Criminal Courthouse in New York City This is Savannah Hernandez outside of the Queens Criminal Courthouse in New York City, where I just attended the sentencing for Charles Foner, the 67-year-old retiree who was just sentenced to 4 years in prison after defending himself from a 15-time career criminal here in New York City.
Can you believe this?
If you're not familiar with the story of Charles, basically back in 2023, a 15-time career criminal with a history of mental illness. And
15 times. 15-time career criminal, mental case. Are you JK me? Can you be a 15-time career criminal, mental case, roaming the streets, committing crime, and just constantly being let out? I don't think so. This is all done on purpose. It's all done on purpose.
Threatening him and lunging at him.
Threatening him and lunging. By the way, if you're in New York City, you better have your head on a swivel. All right, don't be walking down or strolling down alleyways with nobody around, even if you are protected, because apparently if you are protected or have Second Amendment, well, you know, it ain't going to bode well for you, apparently, in the land of the free and home of the slave.
Charles, who had a handgun in his pocket, which he had, by the way, because of his fears of rising crime throughout the city, ended up pulling out his weapon, telling this man to stop. He did not heed the warning. He continued to lunge at Charles. Charles opened fire and ended up killing him. Now, interesting thing about this case...
Oh, man, we're waiting for libtards to start, having vigils for this criminal, because that's how libtards are. It's inverted for them, you know? It's unbelievable.
That the DA of Queens, Melinda Katz, did not bring forth homicide or manslaughter charges because even her office agreed that this was a clear-cut case of self-defense. However, what they did decide to charge Charles for was criminal possession of a weapon, and then after this incident happened, the police went and searched his home, and they found what they stated is an arsenal of unlicensed weapons.
Unlicensed. Because, you got to check in with Big Brother and to let them know that you have these things, and they get their permission to have these things. If you don't get their permission for Big Brother to have these things, well, this is what happens.
And I want to say he had about 30 other guns in his home.
Oh, Lord forbid if he had a collection of Second Amendments. Are we going to limit that? Should he only have one?
And
or none?
Charles's attorney stated that Charles has been shooting guns since he was a kid. Charles has no criminal history, and he has been around guns his entire life. However, because he was in New York and these were unlicensed, the DA decided to bring forward these charges. Now, something else I want to bring up is there was a case that was very similar to what happened to Charles with a 69-year-old homeless man on a subway in New York who ended up killing somebody in self-defense. Now, this homeless man ended up getting attacked by 5 illegal immigrants, and he used a knife to fight off his attackers, and he ended up stabbing and killing one. Again, Melinda Katz's office decided that this was a clear-cut case of self-defense and decided not to press any charges at all, and that case has since been dropped. Very similar to Charles's case, the main difference here, though, is, of course, the weapon used. Instead of using a gun to defend himself from criminals, this homeless man used a knife, and the DA did not bring forward those charges. So I spoke to Charles's attorney.
I guess if you defend yourself with a knife, or maybe you could use a spring. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I guess if you use a knife, no criminal charges brought against you. But when it comes to pew-pews, well, they don't like that.
This is one of the saddest cases that he's ever worked on. To understand how this has impacted Charles, here's what
It's funny how these criminals could have unregistered weapons and commit crimes and be released back on the streets to commit more crimes. But the minute a fine, upstanding American has guns that are not registered with Big Brother, well, he defends himself and he gets sent to the clink. It's funny how that works.
I don't think justice was served on the macro level. We've said consistently our position is that Charlie is not without fault. He possessed firearms that he wasn't lawfully allowed to possess. The question is one of proportionality. Prosecutors have essentially absolute discretion in these situations. They exercised some of that discretion to give Charlie a sentence that was less than what he would have faced in trial. They exercised some of that discretion in ultimately not charging him with homicide. But the question is whether the ultimate sentence was proportional, whether it was necessary to send someone of Charlie's age, given his lack of history of any violence, the impeccable life he's led, to an upstate prison sentence where we continue in this city and other cities throughout the United States watch recidivist violent offenders given second, third, fourth, fifth chances from the criminal justice system. And in Charlie's case, he was not a person of means. He's lived a very middle-class, working-class lifestyle. As a result of this prosecution, he's had to sell the home that him and his wife had strived for.
Sell his home. You heard it right there.
His Social Security benefits, which really given his
Imagine
age,
this.
make up
This is happening in America.
whatever income he has in retirement will stop while he's in prison. And of course, as I alluded to before,
But they'll
there's
let the
cycle
criminals go time and time again.
of separation
No bail in
of
certain
family.
areas.
I've been practicing law and
Constantly letting them go
criminal law
on the
for
streets.
25 years. I've tried cases in Iraq in a courtroom where there were explosive devices going off outside the courtroom. I have never, as a military veteran, I've never seen or been part of a case as sad and as tragic as this one.
Now, the judge in this case stated that Americans have been very vocal about this case, calling her office, leaving voicemails, sending in emails on behalf of Charles. However, she highlighted how she was not responsible for the charges brought forward in this case. Again, that rested with the DA and her office. And basically, they had Charles choose between a trial by jury and up to 25 years in prison for these unlicensed handguns and criminal possession of a weapon, or he could take this plea deal for a minimum of 5 years in prison that his attorney actually negotiated.
Did they even name what this criminal was that tried to attack him or whatever? I don't recall. Did they? That's weird. I don't recall a name or where that criminal was from. I don't think that was highlighted or mentioned. But do these criminals register their guns, their Second Amendments? No. But yet they're allowed to go back on the street, right? They either get a slap on the wrist or no slap on the wrist, just let out time and again, right? To commit the crimes over and over again, 15 times. Maybe more than that sometimes. But this guy, he gets attacked, defends himself, and well, you saw what happened. We're not the land of the free. That's what I got for you. It's unbelievable. Don't be a troll out there. I am oot.